What if the life you are waiting for is already here? Hi, I'm Angelika Warkus, and you are listening to Whatever, Do It Anyway, the podcast about the small, quiet decisions that change everything. So glad you are here.
Even if they don't believe you, even if it scares you, even if no one is watching, whatever, do it anyway. With Angelika Warkus.
There's a song, I don't even remember how I came across it back then. But when I hear it today, I'm instantly back there. In the Swiss Alps, early March, sun on my face, and the feeling I had known in so long. This is exactly right. You know, I thought for a long time about how to start this, because it's actually quite simple, and at the same time it followed me for years. This one sentence that I keep telling myself over and over without really noticing. When this happens, everything will be fine. When the right person comes, when the kids are older, when I can finally breathe again, well, I'll know that sentence, don't we? We carry it around like old luggage and never really put down. Because it feels so familiar, so normal, like it just belongs there. But do you know what that sentence really is? It's the biggest thief I know. It doesn't steal your money, not your time, it steals your now. The only moment in which you can truly live, and I know this not because I read it somewhere. I know it because I live it exactly like that for years. My ex-husband was an alcoholic, and anyone who knows what that means understands. It means you can never really switch off, that you are always on guard, that you are always the adult in the room, even when you yourself desperately needed someone to be there for you. At some point, I made the decision to leave, for myself and for my two children. That was the hardest and at the same time the most right decision of my life. Afterwards, I was alone, often exhausted, and the sentence was still there. When things calm down, when I finally come back to myself, then if what I'm sharing right now is touching something in you, I wrote a book made exactly for moments like this. It's called You Are My Inspiration. 100 thoughts to accompany you when you need them most. You will find the link in the description. And now back to the story. And then came that one week. I was 30 years old, freshly divorced, and I had decided to do something that, I don't know, maybe this sounds strange, but it feels almost irresponsible. I wanted to learn how to snowboard. Not because it made sense, not because it would have helped anyone, simply because I wanted to. Full stop. The children were with my mother, and I traveled with a small group to the Swiss mountains. To a head so spontaneously simple that I honestly had to laugh when I arrived. I mean, really, not hot water, not television, a wood stove for cooking, and a well outside. And in the evening, we sat together, played cards, listening to radio, or everyone retreated and enjoyed their own music on the iPod. That was the first big hit piece everyone just had to have back then, and I had mine with me. And you know what? It was the most beautiful thing I had experienced in years, truly. At some point during that week, my friend and I were so tired from snowboarding that we said, you know, what, tomorrow we are just not going on the slopes. I had already looked into the Panorama Express a little. That train route drove the Alps to Montreux, and so that morning we just got off. No big plan. Two exhausted women on the train through the mountains. I still remember exactly how it felt. The window beside me, the mountains slowly passing by, the light playing on the snow, and I had no task, no children who needed me, no decisions waiting for me. Just the train and the landscape and my own thoughts with, for the first time in a very long time. I was simply allowed to let be. In Montreux, we enjoyed the day and the sunshine. The spring that was already announcing itself so quietly. And in afternoon, we traveled back just in time to catch the last gondola up. And then there was the one day on the glacier. We were exhausted again, really exhausted, too tired to ski anymore. And then we did something too simple. It almost makes you laugh. We got on the lift and rode just like that, with no destination, round after round after round. 3 rounds we did, and I sat there and I can still hear it today. The quiet rushing of the cable, the clack clack when the lift passed over the support, and otherwise silence, the deep, soft mountain silence you simply cannot describe if you never known it. Only the occasional bird song, because spring was already quietly announcing itself, and with every round the light changed. The sun had moved on. The shadows on the snow was different. The mountains alongside had a new face each time. I'm a photographer, and I saw all of it, these variations that resembled themselves with every round. No image was like the one before, and I didn't have to photograph anything. I just had to look. And somewhere on that lift, somewhere in that silence, with the rushing of the cable and the changing light, something became clear to me. I was happy, simply happy, not because something special had happened, not because anything in my life had changed, but because I had simply looking somewhere else. I had simply stopped looking somewhere else. I was just there on the lift. I tossed mountains in that silence. And in that moment, I recognized that that the sentence that had followed me for years. When I had cost me so many moments, so many evenings, so many small joys I hadn't seen because I was always looking at what was missing, what was still to come, what was still yet to happen before I was finally allowed to live. I once saw a reel that stayed with me for a long time. It was about how you know where you are in your life, and do you know how? By how you celebrate your birthday. At the beginning, you celebrate loudly with many people, lots of noise, lots of bustle. At some point, there are fewer, only the ones who really matter. There may be just one, your partner, quiet, deep, honest. And at some point you don't need any of the anymore. Not because you are alone, but because you have arrived with yourself, because you live in the now, not in the past that hurts you, not in the future you are imagining, but here, now, in this moment. That's exactly what I felt on that lift. Not the big party, not the perfect life, just the moment, that lift, that light, that silence. And it was enough, completely enough. The biggest dive in your life is not the past, not the wrong people, not the bad decisions. It's that one sentence. When? Cross it out today, not someday. You have already arrived. You just haven't noticed yet. The life you are waiting for is this one, now, today, and someday. Personal. I wrote a song about exactly this feeling, this arriving with yourself. It's called Souls. You will find on Spotify under Angelika Warkus. Is there someone in your life who is living like this right now, who is waiting, who is hoping, who believes that the right life is still to come? Send them this episode. No explanation needed, just this. Because sometimes the greatest gift you can give someone is the quiet feeling that they are not alone what they are going through. This episode is that gift. Pass it on. Whatever, do it anyway. You will hear me next week.